So when I look back and think about everything we've done, there's 5 key innovations that I think that, one, I'm really proud of, that have also shaped the industry, where people have looked at us and gone, and that's great stuff. The first one was really our decision to go completely web-based. So when we started, web development was really in its infancy, drag and drop barely existed, but we took the plunge and we built a web-based BI product end to end. And so where everyone else at that stage was desktop, you now see, one, no one would think about building a BI product that wasn't web-based. And 2, you look at all of those vendors like Tableau and Qlik who are really slowly trying to migrate to the web. They're still continuing to do that. And so I think we're well and truly ahead of our time there. The second one was really around governance and security, understanding that the desktop is not where true analytics happens. You know, analytics in an organization happens throughout the enterprise. And so to enable that, we understood the core need of governance and security, and the metadata layer was our core component of that. And so if we look at the market today, you know, everyone's talking about governance and security. They realize, again, the issues you have when you don't build that. If it's not baked into a product, you either have to buy additional products to do it, or you've got to maintain deployments. And so, you know, we've seen also the analyst community to go from saying, well, your metadata layer is not that important, to going, wow, that's super critical, and that really does deliver a lot of value. And I think, so that again, can't underestimate just how important that's been to us, and I think how other people are looking at what we do. The third one is around collaboration and timelines. I think, again, because we're just not focused on the data analyst, because we care about how business users use information and share information, we realized very early on how critical collaboration was to that. And ultimately, how a timeline and some way to get to that centrally was really, really critical. And if we look at Domo's latest release, you know, they've now got their collaboration hub. They've already taken the collaboration we did on content. And so you're seeing this idea of collaboration, especially for business users, becoming really pervasive. And Tableau themselves have put some really early days around collaboration on content, but that I think has got a long way to go before that becomes viable. The fourth one that I think is, again, was really interesting was when we brought Storyboard to market. So we were the first BI company to introduce the concept of storyboards, and quickly followed by Qlik about a year or so later. And really the idea here again was realizing that reports and dashboards are interesting, but they're not the way in which people tell stories with data. What really happens is people copy content, they stick it into PowerPoint, and they create a presentation around it. And so our take on that was to build Storyboard, and we're seeing, you know, lots of other vendors take that up and actually decide and ultimately use that metaphor to build similar capability, which is really interesting. And lastly, I think the work that we're doing on automated insights is just phenomenal. You know, so right now, the way in which we've approached it, certainly the feedback we're getting from analysts is this is best in class, you know, fantastic use of workflows. I think that as soon as we bring this to market and every other vendor gets their hands on this one and they see what we've done, I think they're going to be, you know, bending over backwards to replicate the kind of work that we've done. But you're going to need a metadata layer to make it successful. So there's a little bit of extra work to make it really useful. And, you know, but ultimately, if I just think about everything we've done, you know, we just continue to assess the market, see the direction, and bring innovations to market over and over again that has influenced the direction of other vendors in our space.